I never wanted to see my children fight. All my life, I prayed that the love John and I poured into them would bind them together, even after we were gone. But I was wrong. Death doesn't always unite a family. Sometimes it tears them apart in ways you never imagined. When John passed, my heart broke in two. I lost my partner, my confidant, my steady rock. But in the middle of my grief, I held on to one comfort. I still had my children. I thought they would gather around me, hold me up when I couldn't stand on my own. For a little while, they did. They came together for the funeral, sitting in silence with me, eating the meals neighbors dropped off, sharing stories about their father. I looked at them and thought, at least we still have each other. But then the whispers began. It started with little comments. What's going to happen with Dad's land? How much is the house worth? At first, I brushed it off. I told myself it was only practical. After all, life must go on. But slowly, those questions grew sharper, heavier. Their voices carried more greed than grief. I would catch them in the kitchen, their voices lowered. If we sell this place, we could split it 3 ways. Mama can't handle it all by herself. We should think about our futures too. Their futures. As if I had never thought about their futures. As if John and I hadn't spent every breath, every penny, every prayer making sure they had better lives than we did. And now, before his grave was even settled, they were counting what was left behind. One night, my eldest son came to me with a folder of papers. His words were smooth, practiced. Mama, we just want to make things easier for you. If you sign here, we can take care of everything. You won't have to worry. But I wasn't born yesterday. I saw the way his eyes avoided mine, the way his hands gripped that folder just a little too tightly. Those papers weren't about helping me, they were about taking from me. I asked him, "Why are you in such a hurry? Your father hasn't been gone a month, and already you're talking about selling the land he worked his whole life for." He stammered, tried to assure me it was for my own good. But the truth hung heavy in the air. He wanted his share, and he wanted it now. The fights grew worse. My daughters argued over jewelry, furniture, even dishes. "Mama promised me this," one would say. "No, she promised me," the other would snap back. I sat there, watching them bicker over objects while the love in this family crumbled before my eyes. Do you know what it feels like to sit in a room full of your own children and realize you are invisible? That your voice, your grief, your very presence no longer matters? They weren't thinking of me. They weren't thinking of their father. They were thinking of themselves. I tried to remind them of the life we lived. I told them about the nights John came home bone-tired from the fields, the way he saved every penny for their schooling, the sacrifices we made so they could grow up strong. This land, I told them, is not just dirt. It is your father's sweat, my tears, and your childhood. It is sacred. But they rolled their eyes. Sacred didn't mean much when money was involved. One afternoon, I walked into the living room and found them yelling at each other, red-faced and angry. My son shouted, "I deserve more because I helped Dad the most." My daughter screamed back, "You only showed up when it was convenient." Their words were sharp, cruel, and I felt my heart break all over again. I slammed my hand on the table and said, "Enough." The room went silent. They looked at me as if I were a stranger who had interrupted their fight. I looked at my children, my babies, the ones I nursed, the ones I prayed over, the ones I gave my life to, and I barely recognized them. "Do you not see?" I cried. "Your father isn't even cold in the ground, and you're tearing each other apart over what he left behind. Is this what we raised you for? To love money more than family? To forget the man who gave you everything?" They didn't answer. They looked away, ashamed, but not enough to change. That night, I sat in John's old chair and spoke to him in the quiet. I'm sorry, my love. We tried. We gave them everything. But maybe we gave too much. Maybe in giving them the world, we forgot to teach them its worth. The days go on and still the fighting continues. They come to me with papers, with demands, with false smiles that hide their greed. And I sit here, holding on to what little dignity I have left. I don't know how long I can keep them at bay. Maybe one day they will force my hand. But I know this, as long as I live, I will not let them tear apart the legacy John and I built with our blood and our love. If they cannot see the value of family over money, then perhaps they must learn it the hard way. And when they do, when the house is sold, when the land is gone, when the money slips through their fingers like water, they will remember. They will remember a mother who tried to teach them that love is worth more than gold and that greed destroys more than it ever gives. And maybe then, when it is too late, they will understand.